how to steal from other artists and make your artwork even more incredible, amazing, outstanding. In this video, you're gonna be learning with me how to observe, how to use those references in your favor. And it's not like, hey, I got a reference and that's the one, it's already enough. No, we're gonna enter in the journey of just gathering many references as we need, not as we want, as we need, but also gathering the right ones. Sometimes it's going to be a little bit harder, sometimes it's going to be a little bit easier to find, but you can always find. So if you have trouble on finding references or just really how to start it, leave a like in this video, subscribe, because we're gonna show it right now. Whenever you're gathering references, there are types of references that you're gonna be gathering. There are types. You can be gathering references for pose, composition, colors, ambient light, shadows, color, the nice part, the one that I love the most, okay? The one that I love the most, the rest, I love the last one the most. I separate in these 3 types, okay? So, if you have trouble with perspective, the first thing that you gotta do is find a perspective that is really close to the one you want. But Gabs, I can't use a 3D model. But Gabs, I don't know how to use Sketchfab. Other artists, there are many ways. So, when you are starting out, you're just like, I have this idea of drawing this character, this crazy character in this place in the night, and I don't know how to start. Got it. First thing is, you gotta know where you want to go, how you want your artwork to be. Do you want your artwork to be something focused on a scary vision, a more courage vision, a more passionate vision? All of those things you gotta be thinking. So you gotta be sure that, number one, you know where you want to go. So after you already know where you want to go, you're gonna be searching topics related to that. What do I mean by related to that? Let's say, let me show right now. I'm doing this artwork right here. You can see it. I'm doing this artwork right here in this other screen. I needed to get a reference for the perspective, for the ambient light, and for features that I'm showing here. Things that I feel that it is complex, okay? So, number thing, I gotta find the reference for perspective of the body, the pose, the anatomy, gesture. So, I'm like, up, view, body, reference. I would be searching like that. And what could, and probably is happening to you, you search and go like, I'm not finding what I want. You see, I searched what I think that should be showing for me, but it's not. And I go like, that's not what I wanted. So the first thing that I can help you, try different search themes, letters, names, okay? Try different stuff to search. Perspective, upper, view, body, drawing. Now I found much better results, okay? I found much better results. And I'm gonna be like, oh my, still not the one that I want, but you can keep on searching. Do you know this thing right here? Can you see it? Go show you close pose, and I know that going from one to another one, you're going to find the one that you want. You are going to. I'm sure that you're going. Here, I found the pose that I'm using. I literally just found the pose that I'm using. Guys, I literally just found it. Look at this. Oh, but Gabs, that's not 100% the pose that I want. So you go and pick another reference for the pose of the arm, for the pose of the shoulder, for the boobie, for the face, for anything that you want. Like this face, it's looking up, not down like this one. So that's how you use that reference. That's the number one part. You go and gather some reference. And it's fine if you don't find the search terms, it's completely fine. And if you're still getting crazy about finding the right search terms, there's a second way for you to gather your reference for your body perspective and things. Let's call it Sketchfab. In Sketchfab, you can search also for just a body, human. You search for a human. Yeah, here. You can already see it. Look at this. I'm already gathering the reference that I want. Oh my! Yeah, you guys can see it. I'm already gathering the reference again that I wanted. And if I want to see from his feet, I can also see him from a down vision. This is the second method to gather reference for your drawing. Let's go for the third method. Yeah, let's go. Third method is just like, hey, I love, let's say an artist that you love. Devin Ellikurtz. You love Devin Ellikurtz because it's your favorite artist, okay? You love his artwork and everything. There is something that you can do about it that is going to change you forever. You stalk that art. I said that right. You go and stalk that art. No, don't do that, please. No. Go and do that, okay? You just go and do that. You can see this artist, it have a DeviantArt. Do you know what is amazing about that? You can see the artist favorites. Do you know what is in the favorites of the artist? Heck yeah, the people that this guy follows. And if you know the people that this guy follows, you can gather even more reference following the style that you want. That's something that I do a lot. If I want to follow a certain line of work, so a certain line of references, I'm going to gather that with the artist that I'm willing to follow. I'm willing to go into that certain direction. Always have the direction that you want first, because if you don't have, you cannot start working. You cannot start doing something or doing your artwork. Be sure that you have a direction. Be sure that you know where you want to go. So you can find here many other artists that this guy likes the artwork. And oh my, there are so many references for you to look through, color composition or just cool art style. And you can click on that artist and go crazy like, heck yeah, I like this art. And you find one with the colors that you want or the perspective that you want, anything that you want. This is the thing. There is an artist that you like, you can gather some reference there. And you are probably not going to find the pose, but you're going to find very close features. We are going from the most easy to find to the most, oh my, I'm despair to get this pose, okay? I'm despair to get something here to work on. Okay, and the last method, the most simple one, is the last but it's the most simple one. Take a picture of yourself. Don't be shy, ask your mom, ask your friend, your sister, brother, your dog to take a picture of you in the position that you want. I ask people around me all the time, no jokes, I ask people around me all the time to take pictures like, hey, hold this thing like this, or hold this thing like this. Or I take of myself just holding like a pen in this way, or any other way, like, yay. Or like just rotate myself to get the right angle, you know, to get the right angle. So I just showed 4 ways to gather some reference of the pose, of the perspective, or any other thing that you would like. But mainly focused on gesture. And then this is the first thing that we gotta be thinking about, getting the right reference. You can see here that I got the right reference. I'm using this reference here to do this body, and you can see that I'm not following it fully. This leg is much more stretched. I did it much more in the first perspective. This one I'm following a little bit more. And it doesn't stop right there. When you're gathering a reference and you're struggling, don't be shy. Don't feel like, oh, I'm not being a good artist if I use more than one reference. You can use as many as you want. Let me show right now. I used a reference for the fit because I was like, yeah, bro, I got this fit right here, but I don't like it. I want to try just a little bit different perspective. I did that, and you can do that too. Not only taking pictures, I also used reference with images to do this hand because I really had struggle with this hand. Oh, you think artists don't have struggle? Everyone got struggle. You are struggling with your art. I struggle with my art. So that's why don't be shy to just gather some reference specifically for those points, okay? And even when I was using this reference, I felt like, oh my, I'm drawing exactly this hand and it's looking bad. Why? Because of the perspective of my scene. So I needed to bend even more the fingers to show that it was in a forced perspective, not this one that are completely straight. For us, it looks straight, but if we look it from up, it will look a little bit more, you know, bending. It will look more like bending. Or not. I just did the way that it looks more natural. It's always good to also follow your instincts, your gut feeling. If you feel like, bro, I'm using this reference this way, but I prefer much more to drawings this other way, that it looks natural, it looks like it's following anatomy, it's following the joints, it's following perspective, it's following everything here, go for it. Sometimes your gut feeling is much more right than the reference. First type of reference. For your character, the perspective, and everything. Second type of reference. Now I'm getting a little bit more tricky with you guys. A little bit more tricky. I still got a reference for pose, right? I'm using that pose right here. I literally copied this pose right here and added here, but it's a completely different perspective, completely different. And that's why when you're picking a reference, it still can be a reference. It just changes the perspective. It just changes the perspective. You can still use if you're feeling okay, if you're just feeling good with changing the perspective, but you already got the perfect pose that you want. Like this pose was the one that I wanted, but of course I could not find it with the perspective that I wanted. So I created, and you can create that too. So how do you think that I was able to get this pose into another perspective? Of course, I was able to do that by having the perspective and the composition and everything to help me on this artwork. Oh my, I have been stealing this artwork entirely. To draw this thing right here, I steal it completely. I steal it from the hair to the toe, okay? I steal it like 100%, 110%. And what do you mean by that, Gabs? I mean the composition, the perspective and the composition. It helped me a lot. And there's no trouble for you to use the same composition. Oh my, you're stealing my artwork. Oh no, you're seriously? Just using the same composition is literally other character. It's literally daylight here. It's literally all orange. There's no stairs here. Here are stairs. There are many guys here. There is no guys here. When you're an artist, you need to calm down that you're just using reference. Okay? Calm down. You're just using reference, champ. There's a clear line between I'm using this as reference and I'm literally doing the same character, same buff guy, just walking down like a total shed, full 6-pack, 7-pack. Let me show you guys how I thought on using this perspective, on using this composition. Hey, big area here appearing, big area here appearing, big area here appearing. A little bit here too. All the upper area. And how I thought about that. That same red area is this red area right here. All this area is the superior one. When I was picking this pose right here, I was like, hey, all the time, no jokes, I was all the time asking myself, if I'm looking the same thing from upwards, I'm going to see what? All the time. It took me, I'm not even going to joke, just to get the sketch of the right perspective, at least 1 hour, just doing a simple sketch to get the perspective. And it's fine, because you are doing so much brain work, so much mental work to gather the right thing that you want. You're there just like, hey, is this the right one? Is this the right one? No, try again. Would I be seeing the spike like this, or would I be seeing it completely like this? In the beginning, I made that mistake of doing it as side view. We have that way of always doing everything side view. I don't know why. But then we keep on asking ourselves and we go like, okay, I would be seeing only the upper area. Upper, upper, upper. Your eyes, upper. Think upper. And I would think, hey, I can see a lot of her arm right here. Would I still be able to see a lot of that arm? No. I'm seeing less here. I'm seeing much less. Would I still be able to see all of her torso? Would I still be able to see his torso here the same as I'm seeing her torso? No. We almost cannot see his torso because of the perspective. If you think like a pyramid of things that you gotta prioritize, literally top view goes on, in this case, top view goes on top. Literally thing that you gotta prioritize, like number one. Wait, isn't the most priority thing go on the bottom? Like, this is what keeps it. You gotta prioritize, okay? You gotta prioritize. The top view go here. Before you start creating all the other things, you gotta first think of the top view. Top. After that, you think of frontal view. Remember the frontal view that you see here on her? Yeah, then frontal. And then we go like, hey, can we see any of the bottom? No, we cannot see any of the bottom. There are two T's, bottom. So you just pick the upper part of the pyramid and you just throw it down in the trash, okay? It doesn't exist in this artwork. I'm not even joking. You cannot see the bottom part. You cannot see a single bottom part in this artwork. Frontal and then sides. What do you mean by sides, Gab? Like here, you can see here her side. You can see here his side. You can see his side right here, right here. You can see here her side. It's pretty much like, hey, you're gonna have a bigger territory top, while bottom, we just kill bottom. Who cares about bottom? And we can see the frontal area. Frontal area. Or frontal is looking like this, pretty much. Yeah. Does it help you? So you gotta think like, hey, her frontal view appears a lot. There is a lot of frontal view. Look at that. Look at that. There's so much frontal view appearing. Look at that. So much frontal view, but frontal view lost its territory because of the Great War of Perspective. And on the Great War of Perspective, do you know who won? Top one. Top number one. So I showed here the number one, that is when you get a reference for perspective. You just literally use for perspective. You go and draw based on what you're seeing, and you can change little things that you want to be changed. This one, we also use the pose, but now it's much more complex. This one, I'm using another reference, one for perspective, composition, and another one for the pose itself. Yeah, this pattern is always going to change depending on your reference for perspective. Literally, if you're using a reference that looks from upwards, all the top things are going to be priority. If you're using a reference that everything is looking down, normally we use that when you're drawing artwork, you know? So the bottom becomes the most amazing thing that people gonna see. And the top here that is going to be excluded is going to be the top. And you're gonna just kick that down. And you keep on inverting that and doing that depending on your perspective. Remember, always do brain work. So about not finding it, we already solved it. Pretty much, you just go cray-cray on Google, on Pinterest, on Sketchfab, on 3D models, on Design Doll, on stalking your favorite artist, on taking a picture of yourself. We solve it. And how to start. You're probably drawing a character. I believe so. So whenever you're drawing a character, always go first for the thing that is appearing the most, okay? Always focus on the thing that you want people to focus. Start by the head. In this case, start by the head. Just draw the circle and go for it. And start drawing the rest. Like, imagine if I drew this upper pose, not starting by the head and the shoulders. That's what appears the most. But imagine if I start drawing it by the feet. Like, what the freak? Can I do a good perspective just by starting the feet? Oh my, bruh. That's going to break so many rules. Like, so how to start? Start by the main thing. Start by the head. Start by the thing that you want people to go like, wow, that's amazing. And not only that, be sure that everything around your number one thing, your number two things, are also getting enough attention, but never as much as number one, okay? Like, you have the head. The head here is getting a lot of attention. The main here is also getting. The main is the number two. It's also getting attention. But it's not getting as much attention as the face is. The face I did on purpose, much more strong colors than the main, because I was like, bruh, the main is good, but the face is more. Okay, the face is more. And you compare even more here with the shoulder. The shoulder is not really calling attention. It's like, yeah, I exist. Yeah, the shoulder gotta be, I exist. So when you're searching for references, be sure that when you're starting out, focus on what really matters for you. How to choose light and shadows. Use a reference for light and shadows. Let's go into another example. Some people here, just like myself, used to have or have trouble with painting white stuff or black stuff. Anything that is completely black like this claw or completely white like this bunny, you just go like, oh my, which color do I use? Do I use like gray or brown or blue? That's an excellent question, because both of them troll us a lot, and we gotta be the number one to untroll that. We gotta just go like, haha, Uno reverse. You gotta just really notice everything that is happening on your reference. Like, bruh, there is the main light hitting right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, and here, and here, okay? But there is reflection hitting the face too. This is a lot of this is pure reflection. You can see here there's a little bit blue because it's a reflection from the sky, and here's a yellowish reflection reflecting its own body and the gold stuff. Here, reflection, reflection, reflection. Here it's also reflecting, and you can see here that it's happening what? Shadows. Shadows and basic color. Basic, repeat after me, basic color. White's not going to be pure white. Black's not going to be pure black, okay? Here, the base, you cannot even see what I'm doing. Oh my, now you can see. Basic tones, basic base. We got the base, and now we can just go hardcore in the dump step, okay? Base colors. I drew all over his face. Poor guy. Let me remove it. Yay. So when you're using reference, you gotta understand like, hey, why this part here is so strong? Where's the light coming from? Where is the light not going? the light's not going to hit here. You can see this lower area here is much more brighter than the middle line forming here. There is a middle line of shadow forming right here. There's a line of shadow forming here. There's a line of shadow forming here. And all those things, think of them separated. If you think of them separated, it gives to you a much higher chance of understanding what is happening. Because if you just go like, yo, light, shadow, you can understand the basic thing, and that's going to work. But maybe you're not going to get this small light here, and it turns a little bit more saturated here, and it turns bluish here, and it turns grayish here. So whenever you're doing light and shadows, be sure to pick a reference that you really enjoy, like this one. It doesn't need to be exactly the same type of light that you're using, but just by being a great reference on the type, the other type, not the type like the full picture, the type like, hey, I enjoy this artist, it's already amazing. Because if you enjoy the process, it's going to be much more easier. That's a really important thing that I'm saying right now. Important tip, pick reference that you really like the artwork. If you're working with reference that you're just like, so bad, I don't like it, it's going to turn 100% harder for you, okay? 100%. And here, the same is happening. We can see the claw. And people normally think, hey, the middle is totally going to be the brightest part, right? It's going to be so bright, like so bright. No, look here. All the middle is the darkest place, the darkest. But all the rest is reflecting. The sides are reflecting, look at that. Different intensities of reflection because of different intensities of light hitting there. Like here is the bunny skin hitting as a light, not so strong. But here is the upper light, so it gets really strong. And here, a little bit less strong, but it's still strong. So whenever you're using a reference, try to really pick, hey, this thing shows me better what I want. I can show right now a little bit more of his textures. There is a rule that I don't talk a lot, that it is always after a shadow, there's going to be a light, always after a light, there's going to be a shadow. In your artwork, it's always the exchange between shadows and light. They're like a hand holding, and they're like, no, your turn, no, your turn, no, your turn. All the time, all the time. So what is happening here? There's light coming from above, right? And a little bit from here. Let me give a simple example. There is light here. And since there's light here, this side here is going to receive shadows. And since this side here is receiving shadows, the next one is receiving a little bit of light. Why? It's reflecting its own skin. It's reflecting its own skin. When I was on this part right here of this artwork, I was like, whoa, it looks amazing. It's incredible. And few seconds after I said that, I was like, hey, you are feeling that this artwork, it's too good, and it's still like only 3 hours in the artwork. That's something wrong. You gotta search more into that. I was only 3 hours into this artwork, and I was like, hey, it's amazing. No, you gotta search more into that. I was like, okay, what I would say that I don't like so much here, I would say the colors. They look so they look so And I'm like, okay, I gotta find some reference. Talk with people here, and I got some reference. Do you know what happened after reference? Colors. Colors happen after reference. Not only colors, stronger shadows, stronger light, stronger saturated things happening, you know? And that's amazing to have. How I did that? I got a strong artist on colors, on shadows and light. This artist doesn't really add details. I'm sorry that I cannot show you the full artwork, because the full artwork is prom. Yes, I'm repeating, you can use prom as reference for your family-friendly artwork, for your digital art that everyone can see. You can use anything as reference. When I say anything, you can use your hand as reference. For the sky color was too much dead. It was dead. This dead. Here, it was all dead. Look at this color. It was all dead. It was and then I was like, yeah, look at the difference. Look at the difference. Just by using reference, just by stealing from this artist that I have never ever known in my entire life. Yeah, we steal from them. We steal the colors. What I also use it as a reference. You can see here, there is some kind of purple going on here. And do you know what got me into purple? Heck yeah, if you have a strong blue sky and your character is orange, do you know what happens when orange touches? Do you know what orange and blue get together? Yes, purple happens. How to observe it, where to focus. Well, how do you use a reference in the right way? The most simple answer that I can give to you right now watching this is, where do you want to get? What do you want people to look at? What do you want people to focus on? Before you get a way to go, a certain place, a certain path, you gotta always find first, hey, do I really want to go in this direction? Where do I want to get? Do I want to get into strong vivid colors? Okay, so I'm going to find a path that gets me into vivid colors. In this case, the path was this reference. Or do I want to have a charter that can look mainly up view? So you already have a goal. So number one, be sure to have a goal. And if you have a goal, it's going to be much easier for you to know where you want to get. Because if you just get close to me and say, Gabs, I want to draw. And I say, what? And then you reply to me, I don't know if I want to draw perspective from up or perspective from down. Now we already got more things to work on. Now we can understand like, hey, you don't know if you want to work from upper perspective or lower perspective. You can try both, but you're still not so clear in your mind. We gotta get it even clearer. How much more clear? I want to draw my character showing how powerful it is. So drawing your character normally bottom view. Same here from bottom, so the character looks like gigantic. Or you want to show your character in a mystery scene. So drawn from upwards, you're gonna see the character just exploring and getting all crazy in the scenery, go like, whoa! So always be sure that you know which emotion, what kind of thing you really want to get with your artwork. Even if you don't have a clear image in your head, it's fine to not have a clear image. I don't have a clear image on all my artworks. Much more the opposite. Few of my artworks I have a clear vision already in the beginning or middle. Few of them. What I focus is on the present moment. I want to get where? If you are walking in the park, you gotta be sure like, hey, I want to walk to this other part, to this tree right here. You don't go like, hey, I want to walk anywhere and maybe I will get into that tree. Nah. About using references. Use as many as you need. Be sure you have a clear goal. I showed many places that you can get them. There are a lot of places that you can get them. Take your time to understand your reference. Take your time to understand what is happening. Take your time to do the processing of, hey, in this reference, everything is bigger here. In my reference, everything is going to be smaller here. And the opposite is going to happen. It's fine. Take your time. Let your brain do the conversion of all those things that it's processing, okay? Do not want fast results. Want it to just understand. Go by results, not fast. Forget the word fast. Go by results. Was I able to understand that the perspective changes this thing and I'm able to draw this tiger in the same perspective as this warrior? Yes. Amazing! You got a result! Amazing! Amazing! Reference can save you so much. Reference can save your whole life. I'm talking seriously right now. Reference can save you so much, just like the same as smashing the like button and subscribing to this channel. Check out our Patreon and Gumroad, link in the description for even more content, or if you really just want to support the channel. And I'll be seeing you in the next tutorial. You're amazing, champ!